Pants or no pants? Clothes and their effect on creativity. You've probably seen it in movies where the intelligent but a little off character finds that he is most creative when he's not wearing pants, oftentimes without realizing he's not wearing pants. In Thor: The Dark World, Dr. Eric Selvig was working on a problem when the team came to get him. They reminded him to put some pants on. In Communion, with Christopher Walken, the protagonist is working on his book and making headway, all while not wearing pants. There have been countless movies and television shows where this is portrayed. These are just two examples. I had to wonder if there was any truth to those types of scenes, or if it was something put in for shock effect. Well, as a neurodivergent, I can relate to not wanting to wear pants. I found that I'm most creative with minimal clothing, as long as I'm warm enough and not too hot. Was that just me, or is there more to it? Over the past few years of learning and reading about different preferences of neurodivergence, the topic of clothing comes up more often than you might think. Autistics seem to be the most impacted by clothing, though they are not the only ones. People with ADHD, schizoaffective disorder, and DID are also impacted by the clothes they wear. Where it really gets confusing is the different ways clothing material changes how the person feels. Not everyone likes loose-fitting clothing, though some prefer it year-round. Others would rather have tight-fitting clothes that stay where they're supposed to, no matter the activity. Like everything with NDs, there is no one-size-fits-all formula. There are people who prefer loose-fitting tops with tight-fitting socks. Others prefer sports bras and yoga pants. Some would go without wearing anything if they had the chance, while others would cover themselves from head to toe. The way clothes affect creativity is in how comfortable a person is. For the person who feels free without the restriction of pants is more likely to prefer shorts or nothing at all. Their creativity is as free as the air on their skin. The tightness around the waist is no longer a focal point of the mind. That gives the brain freedom to allot more energy to the topic the mind is trying to work on. There is a significance in comfort when it comes to how the brain dispenses energy. If something is uncomfortable, like a tight-fitting waistband that cuts into the skin, the brain puts more energy in trying to compensate for the discomfort. The mind wants to focus on that part of the body that is being annoyed, kind of like having a splinter in the middle of your index finger. You're not only aware of it all the time, but the pain intensifies every time you use that finger. Your mind becomes so focused on the splinter that you can't effectively get anything else done. Your brain expends energy in trying to figure out how to get the splinter out. The more you try to ignore it, the deeper it seems to go until you become fixated on digging it out. Then, once you manage to remove the splinter, you can better focus on the tasks at hand. The same is true for irritating clothing. Jeans, for some people, are a source of constant irritation. The way it rubs on the insides of the legs or how it scratches behind the knees. Some uniforms for work or school are the same way. They bunch up in places and it becomes annoying. The material is seldom soft because polyblends are a lot cheaper to mass produce. Then there's the issue of how it fits. Small, medium, large are your choices, not specific sizes for your body. What if you wear a medium long shirt but all they have is medium? The shirt constantly comes untucked when it's supposed to be tucked in, and you have to fight with the dress code with the shirt that doesn't conform to your body. More irritation for the mind to deal with. The more the brain has to compensate for the minor irritations, which quickly add up, the less energy it has to be creative. Yes, creativity requires a lot of energy. That's probably why most creatives drink coffee, energy drinks, or some kind of natural stimulant throughout the day. Some are healthy, some are not. That, naturally, or unnaturally if you prefer, is another topic. It's not just a lack of pants that can contribute to the opening of the creative mind. It could be going shirtless or commando. It might be wearing socks and underwear, or maybe just socks. Only you know what is comfortable for you. Unfortunately, we can't always wear or not wear what is most comfortable and freeing for us. There are other people to consider. When you're home by yourself, it's easy enough, but most of us don't have that luxury. We have to go to work, spend time with family, or be wary of nosy neighbors asking if everything is okay because the curtains are drawn. It diminishes our creativity, and our creativity is how we get things done. Even for those who are strict rule followers, have agendas, calendars, and constant reminders, are dependent on their creativity to create those guidelines for themselves. A person with OCD doesn't get much done if their strict regiment isn't followed. That regiment that keeps them calm is born from a creative mind. When it can't focus on following that regiment, things get dicey for them. The issue of pants or no pants is up to the creative person. The individual neurodivergent has to decide for themselves what works best. This may take a lot of trial and error, and having to accept that it won't be the same all the time. In winter, I'm not as comfortable as I am in the summer. I have to wear more material to stave off the pain of the cold. Still, I have to find the right kind of clothing, usually some kind of wraparound, so I'm warm yet free enough to be creative. In the summer, the less the better, except for having to deal with the bugs that come out in the spring. So whether you prefer pants or no pants, a top or going topless, sports bras or compression socks, or a wild combination of things, the preference is yours. Whenever you get the chance, wear what makes you comfortable enough to free your creativity. You're neurodivergent and your mind works differently depending on what you're wearing. It's another awesome oddity of being who we are. Embrace it, enjoy it, and find your own style. Thank you for joining us here at Neurodivergent Life. If you've liked what you've heard, be sure to support us by becoming a free or paid subscriber at neurodivergentlife.substack.com. Until next time, keep on living that neurodivergent life.